On today's video, I'm going to be answering a question that was sent to me by one of my viewers. They are a YouTuber and they generate income, and their question is, should they be concerned about the income that they're getting from YouTube? Is this income stable? Can they count on it? And is this a long-term income source? Well, before I answer that, if you have not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe. If you have not given this video a like, please give it a like. Hit the thumbs up button, and by all means, share this video with your friends. You know, let's take a look at how YouTube generates income, because that's where everything starts. YouTube generates income by simply embedding advertisements, small videos, in the content that people create. So when a content creator creates a video, YouTube embeds these advertisements in it, and when people watch those advertisements, companies or the sponsors of those advertisements, the companies, pay YouTube a fee, and it's that fee that YouTube uses to pay itself and to pay you. Now I want you to keep in mind that not all videos, or should I say, not all advertising are the same. The most expensive, or should I say, the most revenue generating advertisements are in the United States. Then you have Canada, you have the United Kingdom, and so forth. And the least revenue generating ones are the ones in Africa and parts of Asia. And for the simple reason, the advertisers in the United States pay YouTube big dollars to advertise. So if you have a video and somebody watches it from the United States and somebody watches it from Africa, you're going to make a lot more money from the person who watches it from the United States. So the more subscribers you have from the United States and Canada and, you know, the West essentially, the better off you are. So that is how YouTube generates its revenue. Now, the question was, should they be concerned? The answer is yes, they should be concerned. You know, let's take a look at the changes and some of the things that can affect or will affect the revenue of that individual or just anybody who does YouTube. The first change we need to factor in is that every single month, thousands upon thousands, hundreds of thousands of new content creators are signing up on YouTube. In fact, the number of content creators are growing at a faster rate than the people who are just watching YouTube videos. And what that means is that there are fewer eyes chasing down more content to watch. 5 years ago, if you wanted to watch a video of a content creator in Africa, traveling Africa, and showing you all about the different countries and how people live and what the media doesn't show you, there are only a few. Wodamaya, for example. You have African Tigress, Miss Trudy. You have, again, there were not a lot. And then you have Ayam Marwa, and you have his sister Dee Mwangor, and so forth. These were not a lot of content creators. And what that meant was that there were a lot of people to watch, and those channels grew pretty fast. Today, if you have 100,000 subscribers and you want to go to 200,000, it is very, very challenging. If you have 300,000 or 400,000 and let's say you want to get to 500,000, it is much more difficult because there are thousands of content creators now, and the eyes of all these people are not enough. It's not growing as fast. And so what does YouTube have to do? YouTube has to artificially take some of the content creators and send them to these new content creators, because YouTube want them to remain on the channel and to create content, because some of these new YouTubers are going to be really good quality content creators. So YouTube has to encourage them, and it does that by taking some of the content watchers and artificially put them onto these new channels that are coming up. And that is coming directly from older channels. You know, if you have a channel and you've been around for a long time, one of the things we tell subscribers is hit the notification bell so that when we release a new video, you'll be notified of it. Have you noticed that the notification bell doesn't really work as how it used to? Part of the reason is because YouTube has to manage the content, it has to manage the content creators, it has to manage the viewers. So that's a big challenge, and that is going to affect your income. You know, if you take somebody like Woody Meyer, who has roughly 1.5, I think, million subscribers, when he releases a video, that video should be seen, they should be easily in a week or two have 2, 3, 400,000 views. And he will tell you it's not so easy to get those views. Again, because of all these competing content creators. So now it forces content creators to be more novel, have to be more creative in terms of the content they create to distinguish themselves from other content creators. And that is more expensive because it usually requires more effort and more energy and more resources to create, you know, advanced, sophisticated content like that. But that is one way to try to keep, you know, your revenue and watch hours up to par or up to a consistent basis. You know, another big change that is actually happening is happening right under our eyes, and most of us are not even aware of it. So there are two ways in which I'm going to go with the first one, and that is what we call ad blocker. Ad blocker is a software or browser extension that sits in the browser. And what ad blocker does is it blocks advertisements. So if you're watching a YouTube video, you know, YouTube embeds these advertisements within the video itself. Well, ad block software blocks the video, the advertisement. And if there's no advertisement when somebody watches your video or your content, then there's no revenue. YouTube doesn't get the revenue, nor do you. So the ad block software, you know, that's typically on a browser, people who watch on a computer and browser and maybe on their phones. Now, the other one that is even more potentially bigger and create more problem is YouTube television. Again, because more and more people are watching YouTube on television. YouTube has created a YouTube television subscription. And one of the primary things it talks about, or the ways it promotes itself, is by telling you that there are no commercials, no advertisements when you watch video. So if I have a YouTube television subscription, I can watch your content without seeing the commercials. The advertising dollars that you would get has disappeared. And that is going to affect your bottom line. It's going to affect your ability to generate revenue. So those are big ways in which these changes that are happening on YouTube are going to affect you. Now, you say, what can I do about something like this? Well, you need to diversify. The only way to protect yourself. Because one thing that most people don't realize, creating content on YouTube is a job. Just like if you went to a 9-to-5, you know, a company and they hire you and you go there on a daily basis. It's the same process, except it's more distributed. You do it when you feel like, or do it at your own convenience. But if you stop producing content, your revenue will disappear. Therefore, you need some way to diversify. Now, you need what's called passive income. You need to create a passive income source. What is passive income? Passive income is kind of like, if let's say you have $1 million in stock, $1 million, a million shares or $1 million worth of shares of a company, and those shares generate a dividend or an income of 10% or $100,000 annually. That income or dividend is considered passive income. And the reason for that is because you don't have to be, once you put that investment in, it will generate that income for you year in, year out, month in, month out. You don't have to be at work. You don't have to be in the country. It's always generating that. That's called passive income. So what you can do is take a portion of your YouTube income and make that passive income. You can buy, for example, a piece of real estate, or you can buy land, and the land appreciates over time. So if YouTube goes away, you still have the land, and you can sell the land and walk away with the increase in value of the land. You could create a house, or if you have enough income, you could build a house or buy a house and then rent that house out, and that's passive income. Whether you're on vacation or not, they're still paying rent. That's one way to do that. Another way people generate additional income is to use their channel as an advertising medium. So let's say you have 100,000 subscribers and you want to generate some additional income. You can go and you can have companies come on your channel and you interview them, for example, and tell people about their products, and you charge them a fee. You might say $200 for this interview, right? And you charge them a fee. That's one way to do it. That's another source of income. But what if you can't create content anymore? Well, that source of income is also going to dry up. Another way you could actually generate revenue is to say, look, rather than paying me the $200 up front, I want you to give me $20 a month for 2 years. And that comes from the increase in profits that you're going to get because I'm going to help you advertise your product. You're becoming an investor. And what you're doing is you're slowly but taking your channel and creating new sources of income that are not tied to that channel. Because once you've done the promotion for that company, that revenue is going to stick around for 2 years or 3 years or however you do it. And that is very, very important, because that is how you create long-term passive income that is diversified. In other words, it's not dependent on YouTube. If you use your channel and you have 15 companies who are paying you, $20 a month or $30 a month or $50 a month for a number of years, that's a lot of money. It adds up over time. So the key is to think strategically. Now, one of the challenges you're going to face is, how do you evaluate a company and determine this company is going to have revenue? Well, that is what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to learn how to evaluate business opportunities. If I show you a little seedling, this little seedling right here, you don't know what this little seedling is. And if I tell you you should spend 6 months and water this little seedling, you might give up after 2 months because you have no idea where this little seedling is going. It might be a bush for all you care. You don't know. But what if this little seedling is a tangerine tree or an orange tree that is going to bear a lot of fruit? You can take that fruit and you can sell that fruit and generate money. My point is that you have to be able to look at companies where they are and evaluate where they are and where they're going. And that is something that you have to educate yourself on. It's not something I can cover fully in this video, but my point is that that is another way that you diversify your income. Now, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please subscribe to the channel. And if you haven't given this video a like, give this video a like. When you like this video, you're telling YouTube this is an important video. And it takes time and energy to create this content. So please give the video a like. And by all means, share this video with your friends. My friend wanted to know, should he be concerned? And the answer is yes, he should be, because YouTube is a billion-dollar business, and the way in which YouTube generates revenue is constantly changing. YouTube itself is constantly changing. And I went over a number of ways in which YouTube is changing, and those changes are going to affect your ability to earn a living from YouTube. What you need to do is patiently and diligently diversify your revenue source, so that if something happens to your YouTube channel, or that you can't produce or you can't make YouTube videos anymore, you at least have other sources of income. Thank you for watching.